Hello and welcome to the Tarka Zone. Thank you for joining me. Today we're going to be talking about the game Diablo 4, and the Ultimate Edition Early Access starts in less than 24 hours. So we'll be playing it tomorrow, basically. This is for those people that bought the more expensive copies of the game. The standard edition is still 4 or 5 days away. I believe it's late day on the 5th is when it starts, early the 6th. So definitely count on it on the 6th, that depending on what time zone you're in. But the reason for my video today is to discuss an article that I was reading that came from Game Rant. It seems like a lot of the articles I read nowadays come from this publisher. And this one is about Diablo 4 will not have day one balance patch. So those people who played the server slam found that they believe some of the character classes needed to be tweaked. And the game designer, Blizzard Entertainment, agreed with that. Yeah, we agree that some balancing has to happen. But it looks like they're keeping the same build as the server slam on day one. So whatever we saw during the server slam like a week ago is what we're going to be looking at on day one. That's what's going to be released in less than 24 hours. And then they're going to be doing a balancing thing. So it says here, contrary to expectations, Diablo 4 will not launch with a balance patch, meaning that the build from the server slam will roughly be the version of the game at release. So just be prepared for that. That's really what I wanted to go over with. They know the Druid and the Necromancer needed slight tweaks. The Barbarian needed a tweak too. Some balancing concerns people had with it being somewhat underwhelming. So here they even wrote, with the Druid being somewhat an enigma for now as well, because we haven't seen the Druid at higher levels. At the server slam capped us at 20th level. And what I'm being told by the developers when I read their commentary or read articles about what they have said, they're saying that the Druid is really an end game class, meaning that it really shines at the end game. So for those people who thought it was underwhelming in the server slam, then yeah, that was truth because of the level restrictions you had. Many players and streamers alike are likely to go with the Whirlwind Barbarian build in Diablo 4, as it came out of the server slam smelling like roses. Now, for me, I run a Barbarian. If you watched any of my previous videos, that's what I run. I run the Whirlwind build. I still thought it was a little underwhelming when it came to racking out DPS. I felt it was lacking, even though there were people that felt that they thought it was spot on because of the other utilities that you had. But the thing is I don't use all the utilities that they were putting in their Whirlwind build because I wanted to be a support class. So I put my leveling points into more support related things, into shouts. So it kind of nerfed my output. So maybe they got it. Maybe they are spot on when you're trying to trick out a full DPS build Barbarian. That, yeah, maybe they're satisfied with that. But as a support Barbarian, I felt a little underwhelmed when I played. I mean, I felt I enjoyed the game. I just felt DPS wise that it was taking me forever to kill things, when if I was with my Necromancer friend, he was one-shotting everything. Bam, 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 bam. So really, I would just taunt and let everything come to me, and he'd just bam, bam, bam. And it was like I didn't even bother going into Whirlwind, because, I mean, I would have to do like 2 circuits before I would kill anything, and the Necromancer that was with me, one spell, boom, done, gone. So that's why I felt it was a little underwhelming. Okay, so that's really it. So let's see here. The Necromancer in Diablo felt lackluster for many participants in the server slam, although, well, the thing about it is the way they tweaked the Necromancer before going into the server slam pushed people out of minion builds. They went into there was 2 builds that they went into, a Corpse Explosion, and the other one was like a Plague Mist thing. And those on themselves were great, but people wanted to be able to use the minions. They wanted to play minion builds, but because of the way they kind of nerfed those, no one wanted to play them because they just were not they were not practical to play because you could do so much more damage using the other two builds that required no minions at all to play. All right, well, that's really it, folks. It was just to let you know that the balancing patch is not going to be implemented. It is what we saw in the server slam, and if you played that, then you're well aware of what's going on with that. All right, well, thank you for joining me, and this has been the Tarkus Zone.